everyone, I'm Dr Kelly Watkins. I'm a psychologist, CBT therapist and EMDR therapist. And this is a topic that I probably talk about every single year. But it's about how we can look after our mental wellness, our mental health in the colder months. Because the colder months bring low mood, it can bring fatigue and sometimes that feeling of just wanting to hibernate. So today I want to share with you some therapist approved strategies to really be able to protect your mental health during winter. So I suppose that the first point to think about is that why winter affects our mental health so much. So to normalise this, that winter affects our brain chemistry. So lower sunlight impacts our serotonin, melatonin, our sleep patterns and our energy rhythms. But there's also some psychological factors that play a role here too, because in the winter there's generally less socialising, often more times indoors. There can be financial pressures as well, and also the festive expectations. And I'm going to do another video on kind of how to manage that as well. So the first one is, or first strategy, first technique or thing that I want to talk about is about light exposure. So thinking about this as almost a behavioural intervention, and this isn't just about kind of having that lamp, although they work for many people and they're really helpful, but CBT uses something called behavioural activation. So what this means is about looking at what you're doing and what you're not doing and being able to activate yourself by kind of changing your behaviour. Therefore that will then change your mood, and it's actually used in depression and to target low mood. So how we want to bring this together with what we're talking about is thinking about the light exposure aspect. So exposing yourself to natural light within the first hour of waking. So it could be about, if you like, sleeping with the curtains open, or opening the curtains as soon as you wake up. It can be about getting outside, even if it's cloudy, that you still get that sunlight exposure. And it stabilises your circadian rhythm, so that internal body clock that you've got going on. And that then helps to regulate your mood. Similar with behavioural activation, but the second part is thinking about building a winter routine before you need it. So because of routine and being able to activate yourself, that the routine almost becomes a safety net when your motivation drops. So if you've already pre-planned this, you're kind of preparing for it happening. So it could be about thinking about having one morning activity or maybe one evening activity, thinking about one movement-based activity, one pleasure-based activity, and maybe one activity that you kind of like a chore or something that you need to do, so kind of like an essential activity. And the idea with this in behavioural activation is that sometimes people don't do many pleasurable activities, or they're not finding pleasure in it, or they've kind of got too many activities that is kind of, there's that responsibility and the kind of the things that you have to do, and sometimes you're even avoiding them. But having those different strategies, so having a morning or an evening activity, movement activity, pleasure-based activity, and the activity that kind of to get stuff done. I can't think of the word for that right now, but it's making it small, structured, predictable. Because sometimes the winter kind of magnifies that feeling of uncertainty. It gets dark depending where you are in the world, but in the UK at the moment I think it's about 3:30 p.m. So it's about kind of creating that certainty with the changing of the timing of the darkness as well, and routine helps to counteract that. The next strategy, as I said at the beginning, that often in Christmas time that we have less social interactions, but it's not about having loads of big gatherings, big social events, because that is just going to drain you. So thinking about having small, regular, low energy interactions, so almost like social microdosing. It could be a text, it could be a quick phone call, it could be meeting up with someone for a hot drink, a walk with someone who doesn't drain you. Because social contact is it's a protective factor. So what that means is it can protect us from sometimes difficulties or problems, because we are pack animals, so to speak. But thinking about making it small, making it not overwhelming, and selecting the person that you are going to be engaging with, so it isn't something that drains your I like to say, energy vampires. Then thinking about reducing your cognitive overload. So in winter, particularly around the festive season, that the cognitive load increases. So there is more planning, there are more festive obligations. Sometimes there's more financial worry as well. So all of this is busying your brain even more. So maybe trying to think about having some sort of mental load list. So asking yourself, what needs doing? What can wait? What can be delegated? Or what can be dropped? Because your brain isn't an infinite storage device. Having lists that can help to hold things instead, I constantly have things written around on post-it notes everywhere. And it just, by putting it down on paper or even on your notes on your phone, it gets it out of your brain. So it reduces that cognitive load. Then thinking about movement. So we know that movement is amazing. It interrupts rumination loops, it improves your sleep, it can boost your mood. But please know that with the mood boosting, that you will often never feel better before engaging in movement. But check in with how you feel after. You will notice a shift. But winter makes movement harder. So thinking about moving your body in ways that you really don't hate. So it could be about having just a 5-minute stretch in the morning. It could be doing some movement inside, like a workout, or doing some walking around your house, dancing in your kitchen. And it's about the movement that makes you more likely to do it. So it's not about putting pressure on yourself that you need to run a certain distance for that to be good movement. It's okay for it to be slower. It's okay for it to be indoors if you need it to be. And it is about just working out a way that the movement can work for you and that is going to improve your motivation, not to reduce it. With comfort. So I speak about this a lot on my Instagram. So thinking about things that help you to feel comforted, because we like comfort in winter. But rather than coping or comforting through numbing, we often turn easily to things that numb our emotions. So sometimes scrolling, overeating, oversleeping. So what I suggest is thinking about mindful comfort instead. So actively choosing something soothing. So it could be about having a weighted blanket. It could be about having a warm bath. It could be about having a hot drink. It could even be about watching comfort shows, because comfort really is allowed, and it is, so I can't think, it is so comforting, I think, in the winter months. But it's about recognising what you are choosing for comfort and that it isn't numbing you of your emotions. Then if we think about, looking at your early warning signs. So in winter, we know that depression or anxiety can worsen, or even seasonal affective disorder. So just look out for your early warning signs. So that could be about maybe you withdrawing more, about cancelling plans. That's if you don't actually want to cancel them. So cancelling plans is okay. But just be aware of, are you cancelling all the plans, even with the people that you know you can be truly yourself and you feel good around. Recognising any sleep pattern shifts, about sleeping more, sleeping at different times. Think about irritability. Are you becoming more irritable? Are you losing interest in the things that you normally are interested in? And that goes back to what I was saying about the behavioural activation, about the activities in the morning or in the evening, the ones that that give you pleasure, the ones that you need to do as well. Thinking about if there is a loss of interest in the activities that you would normally do or that you normally find pleasurable. Notice if you feel overwhelmed by small tasks, and being aware of your early warning signs, and obviously, as I said, preparing by having that routine or that structure in place can help to prevent sometimes those changes in the moods when they become then too challenging to be able to do something about. But so to close, that know that if winter is more difficult for you, that one, you're not alone, and you're not weak, that you're a human. So if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe, and let me know which of the strategies I've spoken about today could work for you. As always, please take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.